Some of the questions that people have asked us about this style of eating. One of the biggest questions is, where do we get our protein from if we're doing a plant-based diet or eating, whatever you want to call it, lifestyle? Where do we get our protein from? So, Michelle, what would you say to answer the people that want to know, where do we get our protein from if we're not eating meat? And many people believe that the protein is coming from the meat, but how would you address or talk about the protein? Where do we get it from?
I would say do a lot of research first of all, but a lot of protein is found in vegetables, and that's not really talked about that much with vegetables. You'll hear vitamins and minerals or different things like that are found in vegetables, but actually there is protein in vegetables and also in certain types of grains, like I was eating couscous right now, and there's protein in that. And then there's also protein in legumes and beans. So there's many different ways of getting protein, if that's what it is you want. And for those who need a protein shake, you can get vegan protein mix as well. So there's many ways of getting protein, but don't let that be a hindrance as to why you feel like, well, I can't eat a plant-based whole foods diet or lifestyle because I'm not going to get enough proteins.
Yep, and stop you real quick. A lot of times is this, we need to do our research on where protein comes from. We weren't really, all that educated on what protein was and how much protein that the body needs. And we did more research, and the protein that you do need, you get from, plant-based foods. So it's really not that we don't need protein, but we think that we need meat in order to have protein.
We don't need as much protein.
Right. And we don't need it. You think about the protein that we get from the meat, from the animals. Where do they get their protein from? So why not eliminate, the middle person or the middle animal, so that you get the protein direct from the source that they get it from. So there's a lot of myths, there's a lot of different things out there, and what we had to do is educate ourselves to the whole thing about where protein comes from, where do you get your proteins. And you even think about the biggest, strongest animals in the world, they don't eat meat. So how do they get big and how do they stay healthy? It's because they're eating things that are coming from the earth, which is the same thing that we're doing.
And you have to check the sources of where is that coming from, saying that we need all of these things, that we need dairy, that we need meat, the Food and Drug Administration. We have to really look at all of that, look into all of it. And a lot of it for us was really seeing how people who reversed some of their health issues because they started eating another way. And I don't want to have a life of medication. I don't want to have a life of having to take blood pressure pills or having to have insulin shots or having to have amputees, legs or different things, fingers or toes, because I didn't want to change my eating style. And we've watched many different people say how they were taken off of their pills, their medication, and how they felt so much better because they stopped eating meat and dairy. And that's not something made up. This is people giving testimonies about how they changed, how they felt better. They no longer have to take 5, 6, 10, 15 medications. Right. And again, our passion is we have family members who is directly affected, and we see it right in front of us. Some have left us, and I still have a sister that just had surgery, had cancer removed from her throat, and she's had the cancer, was in remission. Now she had to have a voice box removed. She's had 2 heart attacks. She has COPD. These are all attributed to lifestyle. And she knows it, and she said it to me that she should have treated her body better. So I don't need any more examples in order for me to make a decision to change. I don't love anything that much to where I'm going to continue doing it when I know it's hurting me. So that really is our conviction and passion.
Right, and that's basically the definition of addictions. A lot of times we don't like to admit, but we are addicted to a lot of things. And anytime someone takes you or wants to take you off of that addiction, there's going to be resistance. So if you have something that can possibly help you get better, at least give it a try. Don't be so addicted to something where it controls you and you just basically thinks you need that to live. Such as meat, such as sugar, such as dairy. Do your homework and see some of those things that we're addicted to, and it's often said the things that taste the best or that we like the most are usually the things that hurt us the most. And it's really like, if you want to look at it that way, is we are killing ourselves by what we're putting into our bodies. So if you know that you're killing yourself, you have to do something to change that mindset so that you will do yourself better and not harm yourself, because in the long run you're going to suffer and the people around you are going to hurt too, because when you suffer, everybody around you feels it.
All right, and I think that's pretty much all we have for today. And again, whether you eat meat or you don't, we love you anyway. But we're just sharing our convictions, we're sharing our passion, and as we grow and learn, we're going to pass on what it is that we've grown and learned, because we're not trying to be selfish and keep this knowledge to ourselves. We want to help other people as well.
Absolutely, and knowledge is power, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
So again, peace out.
Peace.